Just to let you know, George, we are now live.
Well, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another Monday night after a busy WSL weekend. Unfortunately, we don't have Mel tonight. Unfortunately, she's not feeling well. So, from all of us, hope you feel better soon and see you hopefully next week on the show. So, unfortunately, just stuck with me. But I'll introduce you to my guests. As usual, Paul, thanks for coming on. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all good, mate. All good.
Cool. Emma, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm surviving after that first time at Meadow Park.
Yeah, it was good to meet you and good to catch up with you.
Yeah, definitely you too. And looking forward to Sunday,
Yeah,
whatever day it is.
Also, we've got Jack, as you heard at the start. So, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. Maybe it's just the fact I've got through Monday, but I'm feeling pretty high-spirited tonight, so yeah, not too bad, thanks.
That's good. Is Andrew here?
We do have Andrew, yes.
Yes.
Andrew, better late than never. How you doing, mate?
I'm nervous, George. I can't say I'm not nervous. I'm just worried about if I get asked a question sort of 10 minutes towards the end of this YouTube thing, that it'll just get cut off and people will never benefit from my wisdom on that. So, yeah, but I'll be okay. But welcome everyone. Good evening, Gooners.
So yeah, so we're going to welcome to everyone watching in the chat. Andrew, if there's any comments, just tell me and we'll go through them.
There are no comments from Darren Wells who's suggesting I should get fired for being late.
Yeah, we spoke about Andrew at the meet-up yesterday, Darren, didn't we? So, I did actually say Darren was the podcast mascot yesterday. So,
I'll tell you what, George, Andrew might be the chat's Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang with the lateness.
Oh yeah, no way is he captain. So yeah, we'll crack on. We'll talk about the really exciting game against Leicester yesterday. I'll start with you, Paul. When you saw the lineup, what was your thoughts? Was you a bit confused like I was?
Yeah, it was a bit of an interesting one. I get we have to rotate the players. We've got a really deep squad, but looking at who he replaced and who he brought in, it was a bit of a mix of players. I think we lacked Kim Little in midfield for obviously quite a big part of the game, and her influence was definitely missed there against Leicester, which I've said it before and I hate to say it again. It's something we're going to have to get used to in the next year or couple of years or so. But yeah, it was definitely an interesting lineup. Obviously, Emily Fox had to come in at the last minute for Laura. Wasn't not quite sure what happened to her in the warm-up. But yeah, obviously that he thought Leicester were going to be a bit more of a pushover than they were. And we have got Everton coming up this week, and then it's straight into the Champions League. So I get he's got to rotate players, but whatever he was trying to do just didn't seem to work, in my opinion.
There's some things I want to say about our manager and where certain players ended up playing throughout the game. I was not happy yesterday. But yeah, and Andrew, I'll come to you. Obviously, Laura, I think all I know is that she left on crutches, so that's not a good sign. But I'm not sure how serious it is. But it's a shame because obviously it would have been a perfect opportunity for her to get some minutes, wouldn't it? And plus, Emily Fox gets that rest that she needs.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're gutted for it. And I didn't realise it. I mean, hopefully that's a precautionary thing with crutches. Often that is the case if they just need to rest it, and hopefully it is short term. I mean, interestingly, I was surprised that Emily Fox wasn't at least in the reckoning for Player of the Match. I thought the intensity that she brought to, especially in that first 15 or 20 minutes, I thought Emily was outstanding. And, you know, one of the few that kind of seemed to kind of shook off the Champions League hangover that, you know, a lot of the players seem to have. But yeah, really, really sad for Laura. It must be a frustrating situation for her. You know, she just about nailed down the starting role, and then, you know, obviously got the injury, and then she's seen Emily come along, and Emily's being, you know, easily one of our best players. And if Laura's got this injury, you know, fingers crossed. But yeah, equally, yeah, we're kind of sort of, as you alluded to, George, getting sort of a bit thin at fullback, aren't we?
Yeah, that's a word for it. It might even be a special guest in the doghouse, though. I'll come to you, Jack. Obviously, I still think the lack of energy was there, but obviously we've got the goal from Frida. Russo set it up. A lot of people saying Frida and Russo can't play together. Are you in that sentiment, or?
No, I don't think so. I think two good players can always play together, and I think that eventually a way will need to be found. I don't buy into this idea of that one can only play without the other. They are not the same position. They're not the same type of players, and I think it's the issue we've got all over the pitch at the moment, in that we're lacking any solid partnerships. I think individually we've got lots and lots of good players, but with the rotation, and also, to be fair, partly due to, I think, the injury crisis that we had last year and the year before, we've had no settled partnerships in the team now for quite a while. And I just wonder if that's why we're not seeing things fully click. Maybe I'm being too lenient on this. I mean, it's possible. I could come on next Monday and have a completely different opinion. But I just think for now, I think because we're not seeing the same team week in, week out, and we're not seeing the midfield too keeps changing. We're having different wingers with different fullbacks. It's Frida and Stina, then it's Frida and Russo, then it's Russo with someone else. I think it's harder to play if you don't know exactly what the person directly behind you is going to do. And I just wonder if that's where we're feeling a little bit energyless at times.
Yeah. No, I agree. So I was trying to say like that about 3 or 4 different players. So you can't keep just dropping the players. So it's got to be more to it than there is, and then what we're saying for me. So Frida and Russo don't work. Then people were saying, "Oh, but Stina and someone else don't work." I just, yeah. Emma, I'll come to you. Obviously, Frida got the goal. I think that's 3-3 now, isn't it? So she's in quite good form.
Yeah, she's in fantastic form, but then again, it's like, who is she trying to fight the space for? Because people are saying, like, as you were saying, they're saying that they can't play either Frida or Blackstenius, and they can't play Russo and Blackstenius. So it's like, what position are we gonna play Frida in? And what position is Russo and Beth in? Because it doesn't unless he's not training them to play in the formations that he's trying to work with on the pitch, then he just needs to shape up and get it right. That lineup definitely confused me and sort of like terrified me a bit. It's like, we need to go out and win this game, not make stupid little sort of Mikel masterclasses, if you can put it that way. Because they both work at the same level, so it's kind of like he does it. He kind of tried to do a Mikel trick, and it clearly didn't pay off. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that sentiment. Then we move on to the second half. Andrew, it was lucky we had Van Donselaar, really, wasn't it?
Well, she's part of the team, George.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's we've got to have a goalkeeper. I mean, yes, yeah. I think you know. I think there's an elephant in the room here that George is leading to, and clearly there was some space down our left side in the second half when renowned fullback Caitlin Ford was jockeying in. You know, I get it. I suppose in hindsight, you know, when he put it there, it's like we were doing okay, but you know, Caitlin has played left back. Katie was tired, and I think he'd got word from somebody called Sullivan that Katie McCabe needed to be taken off, so he did as he was told. George, and yeah, in hindsight, maybe it was you know, that Katie Reid should have come on for Katie McCabe at that point, or you know, somebody with a little bit more of a defensive mind. I don't know whether Laia Cadena could have moved over. I don't know. It was tricky. I don't know actually how they shaped up in that last 4 minutes. Obviously, we missed the last 10 minutes. Thanks YouTube. But yeah, I think that's the thing. I think we when Daphne got announced, I was like, oh, fair. It wasn't the same trepidation we've had sort of with some of our backups in the past. And, you know, Daphne was outstanding. And you can see this time next year, there's going to be a full-on battle. We won't know. I don't know. It's, you know, obviously there's a lot of time to pass. But DVD Mark II seems to be all that we thought she would be. And it's exciting times. It was lovely to see Manu run on to the pitch afterwards, and was the first one to run to go to Daphne and give her a massive hug. Yeah, that was lovely. Just to say, George, there's a question here from Darren Wells, and I don't know the answer. Did anyone see what happened to Catherine Kuhl at the final whistle? And I don't know what he's alluding to. Is anything?
I read it on Twitter, so obviously we have to you have to probably not listen. I know she was crying apparently. A lot of people, some people on there saying it's because she was warming up the whole game and didn't get on, but obviously as a podcast we can't condone that's what's happened because we don't know officially. Right. But yeah, I know she was quite upset, so I don't actually know if anything did happen or what had happened.
Right.
Perhaps he was just watching our defending. I mean,
yeah,
there might have been a few of us nearly in tears by the end of that.
I was nearly in tears. I was glad.
Good one, Jack. Good one.
Yeah. So yeah, I will come back to Andrew's point about the left side because I need a run up and jump to talk about it. But Jack, question for you. Yep. Obviously, with the DVD and Manu situation, do you think it could end up being another Ramsdale versus Raya situation?
I don't think so. And the only reason I'm going to say that. Oh, yeah. Sorry, did you say Emma, not Jack?
No,
Jack. Sorry, my bad. I just I automatically said, "Oh God, I hope not."
Yeah.
That's okay. I was just making sure I wasn't interrupting then. No, I think Manu's character speaks for actually. I think we'll be fine, and I think it's full credit down to her. I think we've got two very, very good goalkeepers, and I think Jonas, he rotates his goalkeepers. I don't think this is a Mikel Arteta. We're going to rotate goalkeepers, and then David Raya becomes our number one. He's got a track record of playing different goalkeepers for different games, and we've got two of the best goalkeepers in the league, so who offer different things as well. So I think both will get plenty of game time. Yeah. If there was a Champions League final the next day, who would he pick? I'm not sure, but no, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
Well, we all know it's Naomi Williams. But Paul, I'll come to you. Obviously, Van Donselaar made some really quite important saves towards the end. If you managed to see it because of the stream getting cut off. But yeah, was you a similar question? Like, do you think it's just going to be the goalkeepers swapping in and out, or do you think could this be leading to someone take, like, say, Daphne taking the number 1 spot?
Well, I saw some of the saves that she made. Yes, I did miss the last few minutes with the stream cutting off. I think Manu's only got a contract till the end of this season, anyway, hasn't she? With the extension she signed. So whether it could be going down 2 different routes. It could be down is Manu actually already said, no, I'm going to leave. I want to go and do something else. So bring Daphne in slowly and build her up into the team. Or it could just be right, Manu, we want you to have a new contract. I want 2 great goalkeepers because we're going to be competing in 4 competitions. There's going to be a lot of games, and he does, as already been said, he likes to rotate his goalkeepers. We saw it last season with Manu and Sabs. So it seems to be part of his game plan to look at the goalkeepers. Some of them are better at handling crosses. Some of them are sort of better at stopping shots straight on. So, yeah, I think it just depends on the opponent which one he's going to pick. But without knowing exactly what's going on with Manu's contract, it's going to be a difficult one till we sort of get into the second half of the season, I think.
Yeah. Is there any comments, Andrew?
Darren Wells says I've got a laugh like a James Bond baddie. I don't know what to make of that, but
he ain't got a cat in a spinny chair, Darren. That's fine.
I have got cats, but they're not likely to sit still for too long. Cheers, Darren. I think
we've got our own Dr. No on the podcast. So Emma, I'll come to you. So, who was your player of the match from Sunday?
Probably have to go to Van Donselaar.
Yeah.
Because of the amount of saves that she pulled out. And although I didn't understand it, whether she was actually injured or whether it was just tactical. So, but yeah, she definitely got my player of the match.
Yeah. Not like Arsenal to do dark arts now. But in that setting, though, it was actually Manu that told Daphne to go down towards the end. Because I was at the game. Yeah, Manu said go down, waste a bit of time. So everyone forgets it. Like Manu Zinsberger does it in a diplomatic way. But yeah, now the moment we've all been waiting for. The doghouse is back. Right. So who is going into my doghouse today is not Leslie Russo that Darren thought it may have been. It is whoever made the decision to play Caitlin Ford Focus at left back. Right.
Whoever.
Yeah, in all the decisions in the world, they put Caitlin Ford at left back. Like, so they take off Katie McCabe, who, fair enough, she was tired. I get that. You got Kyra Cooney-Cross that's played at left back before. They take her off. They think, all right, next. You got Katie Reid, who's a defender, and we need to bring someone on who, funnily enough, defends. And then he puts Ford there. I just can't get my head around it.
I have a vague theory on this, but I'll let you finish first, George.
Yeah, that's fine. Because what they could have done is like what you said, Andrew, is move Cadena across and put Katie Reid there. Right? They were never going to go and attack to get another goal, so they should have just defended. So, that is whoever made that decision. I'm not saying it's Jonas. Could have been someone on the touchline, or it could, I don't know, someone put something in the WhatsApp group or something. But whoever, Ford Focus at left back is a no-go for me. Now, Jack, what is your theory.
I think Jonas has. I'm going to probably put it down to Jonas. I think he's tried to move to a back three in order to load more bodies into midfield, and I think what's happened is we've just defended so deep that we've ended up by the end dropping into almost a back five in the end with Caitlin Ford at fullback. I think the aim by Jonas was to play her slightly further forward, still at the left mid position, and drop Emily Fox into centre back with Woodman Moy and Kadena. Because you'll notice right at the very start that he hands out the little tactical paper and Emily Fox becomes much more central. And I think actually, I'm going to defend Jonas, and I think the players on the pitch didn't actually deliver his tactics in the end. Because I think at this point we were getting broken on quite a bit. So I think he's aimed to pack the midfield, get us more compact centrally, whilst without losing our attacking players aiming for more goals. And I just think we've ended up sitting back so deep that we just didn't have the players then to do it. But I didn't hate the idea that I think was originally going to be tried, because I don't think we were very good before the move, and I think I'd rather see him try something than almost not.
I don't think we was any better when it happened either. So
no, we definitely weren't.
that's what I was saying. Whoever decided, but because I'm not saying it ultimately is Jonas, because if he's made that decision, like you say, to go to a back three, or then maybe it's the players that have, or even Caitlin. I don't know. It could have been Caitlin Ford decided, but mate, and then there's fans saying, "Oh, she's rubbish at defending," because she's not a defender, mate. Like she's a bloody winner. Like that's why. So yeah, but ultimately we got the win. Dorian and Michael had to basically convince me for a few hours that we actually did get the win, because I weren't happy that we just hung on basically for a 1-0. And I will say, Rosa Caffergy should have scored. I know she's young. I think she's finding it a little bit hard to settle in, but she's still young. But this is what's frustrating me. I'll finish with you, Andrew, on this bit. What's frustrating me is the chances we're creating, we're not putting them away.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anyone caught the Man City game, but they took it to a whole new level of missing chances, Viv Miedema included. So I think it's kind of part and parcel of the game. I think Leslie needs the one to come off a face or something and just get into a bit of a groove and get some confidence. And I think goals are coming from various places. I mean, we've had a couple of big wins. Leicester aren't that bad. I still think they're in the mix for fourth place this year. They were a new team. Well, as in a new coach, so that was something we didn't have a great amount of time to set up for that game. And they did, and we had very little to go on really as to kind of what their new coach would bring. But yeah, I think it doesn't. Bottom line is, yeah, we're not putting away the chances that we are that we should. But early days, I think I'm still going to back us for a comfortable win against Everton. Not to jump ahead of the show, George. Sorry, Gaffer. There's another card. But actually, Darren Wells has mentioned about goal difference, and that has been an issue. Chelsea banged 7 against Crystal Palace. That we need to be doing things like that, putting teams away like that.
It's because they're sick at football, apparently. That's what that Chelsea admin person said. But yeah, when you said Leicester 4th in the group, I thought you meant like that was the 4th choice of the doghouse. No, I reckon they're in the mix. Leicester in the Leicester 4th.
Let's see at the end of the year. I think they're in the mix for it. Brighton, Leicester, Man United, Liverpool. I reckon they're up for it. It's early days, but I really rate Rantala I think I'm amazed they managed to keep her. I thought she would have gone somewhere. I think she'd have been snapped up. Yeah. But it's all it's all conjecture at the moment. But let's see. And I'll change it to when I say in the mix. When I say in the mix, and did you notice I named about half the other teams in WSL then, so they can get into eighth. And I say, well, they were in the mix. But there we go. We shall see.
Right. Just want to thank Andrew for the out there contribution for the show this week. I'm not going to lie, that's gobsmacked me. That's the fourth place. Right, moving on before we lose all control and Caitlin Ford ends up starting at left back again. We're going to quickly go over the Champions League. Obviously, we got the win on Thursday. It's been a long week. Paul, so obviously they've done the job on Thursday. Then the group stage, we've got right, Jack, you're gonna have to help me with this. We've got Juventus, Bayern Munich, and what's the Norwegian team?
Oh God, that's a good question.
Valerenga.
I know they play in Oslo. That's what I know.
Yeah, all right.
Valerenga.
So we'll be going to Oslo. So, Paul, what's your thoughts about the group? Do you think it's a winnable group?
Yeah, I'm pleased we avoided Barcelona. I think the way they're playing, I think anyone wants to avoid them. But yeah, I think as long as we actually turn up, and that's our biggest problem. We turned up last week against Hacken, and we didn't turn up on Sunday against Leicester. It's which team's going to turn up. On a good day, we could beat Bayern Munich, we can beat Juventus. Yeah, we could beat any of them. But yeah, it just depends which team turns up and whether they're actually focused in and they want to play. Because that's what I watched. Obviously, watched both of those games on television at home. But the difference, they just seemed almost like the passion was more there for the Champions League than it was in the league. I don't know whether that was them thinking, oh, it's only Leicester, and Hacken was a we must win this game type of thing, or what. But yeah, I think we can do it. I think we can get through it. I think as long as we pick up minimum a draw against Bayern away and pick up wins against all the others, then yeah, we could top the group easily.
Yeah, cool. Jack, what's your thoughts on the group stage? Are you doing any of the away games? I can't remember if you said you was.
I'm hoping to do Norway. I mean, yeah, that's the hope. It fits perfectly in terms of the days for me to be able to go. I thought the Hacken game was very good. I thought it was a team that wouldn't have looked that out of place last season in terms of who was picked. And I think them partnerships showed on the pitch. There were players who were used to playing together. I think they played for Jonas as well. I think the one thing in all this and all our many questions that we all have about Jonas is that the players still play for him. And there can be absolutely no doubt about that at all. So he must be doing something right behind the scenes. I like the group stage. There's not many low blocks in that out of them three teams, except maybe in Norway. And I think our biggest issue is playing against a low block. Teams come after us, I back our defence to be able to defend, and I think we'll score goals on the counter-attack. Might not always be pretty, but I do think it's given us the best chance to get through, and we've missed any of the real big hitters. I would put us as favourites to top the group.
Okay, yeah. I'm looking forward to us in 90 minutes of Freedom Mornum Sons in Norway. Right, nothing else, just about freedom the whole way through. Yeah, Emma, what's your thoughts on the group stage? Are you planning to go to any of them?
Not the away games, but I've treated myself to the first one in at the Emirates, and then on the 18th of December.
Cool. That's the Bayern Munich, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, the Bayern Munich one is on the 18th. If you're a Lioness fan, you got to not pass up the opportunity to get a picture of Georgia Stanway.
Yeah, she'll be at Arsenal in a couple of years. It's fine. Yeah, not that I know that. Just saying. Yeah, Andrew, are you planning to do any? And what's your thoughts on the group stage? Do you agree with Jack about favourites?
I hadn't really considered that, but yeah, I think we're, we've certainly got it in us to win that group. I think at the beginning of the season, this would have been our minimum markers would have been getting out of the group. Quarterfinals, semi-finals. I don't know what everybody else feels, but getting out of the group is our bare minimum. But that's including winning the Champions League on that. So, winning the WSL on that. So those are my minimum requirements for the season. I'd love to go to the Norway game. Just got to actually earn some money. So that old chestnut. That I'd love to do. But equally, then I've got that one eye on. Like, I might be going to Lisbon to support the Arsenal in the final. So you've got to kind of hedge your bets here, and not delve into your football kitty too much. But I think we'll get out of the group, and that's what whether we win it or not is another question. Dorian's mentioned about avoiding Barca because we're kind of directly in that relation to their group. So, but watch us, we go and win the group, and then Barca go and come second in there. So, let's just get out of the group, and I think that is our bare minimum. We have to, and that means doing the double over Vålerenga. But hopefully that last game is that I think that the Vålerenga away is hopefully a dead rubber by then. I think we've got to beat Juventus twice. We've got to take points off Barca. It's all going to be good, George. It's all going to be good.
Yeah. I hope we ain't taking points off Barca because they're not in our group.
Yeah. Well, that'd be great, wouldn't it? There's the dark arts for you. Going into other groups and stealing money. I've hacked the system.
But yeah, Munich, I know. Obviously, I'm looking forward to it because I'm going to Turin, and Oslo. So it should be good. I've not done them grounds before, so I'm not looking forward to the weather in Oslo actually.
Yes.
Yeah. But
Just don't bring it back.
Pardon?
Just don't bring the weather back.
I'll bring the snow back with me. It's fine.
You can bring the snow back in December. That's fine.
Yeah. But yeah, it should be good. To be fair, I'm looking forward to the group stage. I think it'll be good. Like what has been said, I think on our day we can probably compete and beat probably most of these. Bayern Munich, obviously, I think is the toughest one. But I think the way with our atmosphere and the way it is, as long as we stay as like that 12th voice, and we can basically get us over the line, especially if at the Emirates. Have we got any comments, Andrew?
Just on that, Dorian's just mentioned that our last home game is Bayern, so that could be the game. Hopefully, it's. I don't know whether we could have it at least in the bag that we've qualified by then, but at home with a sellout, says Dorian. Says Darren. Sorry. That'd be. That kind of sets it up quite nicely. You don't want to, as Jack says, you don't want to be going to Norway, plastic pitches, cold weather, and low blocks. You don't want to go there needing a result.
No, exactly.
I'll tell you what I will say though. Fair play to anyone who makes it to Munich, considering that these fixture releases have happened in such a short space of time.
Ridiculous. 10
to
days.
The actual game. I mean, so fair play to any supporters who can make it to that, because, God, that's talk about wanting more people to go to the game and then putting fixtures so close to when they get released.
Excellent.
It's funny you mention that, because I was going to. Obviously, it's not directly with Arsenal, but obviously this Chelsea Man United game got called off, didn't it? Jack. So obviously it was a sellout and everything, and then obviously they've postponed it now because of player welfare. Surely who would you blame for that situation happening? Because like the WSL and all that, they'll know that Chelsea is going to be drew in that in the Champions League at that time.
Yeah, you got to look at the league. As much as I would love to blame Chelsea or Man United, and if at any opportunity I will do so, yeah, it's a problem with the league. I don't think it suits Chelsea having a really big gap before playing us, so I think it will work in our advantage, providing we win our games. But I really think we can build up a head of steam before them. They're going to be quite a big break, and I truly believe actually that more injuries are happening when coming back from a break than actually in the main busy parts of the seasons. And as usual, it's the supporters that are going to be the ones most affected, especially as lots of teams have supporters who do come from absolutely all over.
Yeah, right. That's what I mean. Like, because obviously it's in London as well, so you've got like Chelsea fans wherever they travel from. Man United fans travelling from London as well.
I can see that joke coming a mile off, George.
You beat me to that, George, because I was going to ask if Chelsea have any fans, full stop.
I normally have to get they've got Basil. I had to get the Man United drive in there. Like, so it's fine. Like London derby, it's just, I suppose they haven't really thought. Well, like you say, it's the league's fault, isn't it? I know what people say. There's swings and roundabouts. They've still got to play when we don't. It's not really my issue with Arsenal. I just don't think it's right. We're trying to push women's football to be for more people to attend it, Paul, aren't we? And then once again, the people in charge basically fuck it up. See, I've dropped the F-bomb now.
Yeah. I'm off the hook.
Yeah, I mean, it's very similar to last season when it was actually our game against Chelsea, wasn't it, that was being messed about.
Yeah.
And it was only decided about 10 days beforehand exactly what day it was going to be. Was it the Friday? Was it the Sunday? That was all to do with the men's FA Cup fixture. But yeah, if they want to build the women's fan base, then they need to sort these fixtures out a lot earlier in the season. And the league knew that any of the top three clubs could be playing Champions League games on that Tuesday. So they shouldn't have listened to the likes of Sky that wanted that game on a Sunday just for them. They need to say to these players, well, no, you can't pick that game for the Sunday game. It's going to need to be the Friday night or the Saturday because of the potential for the European games. I mean, if you look ahead to our fixture against Brighton that's currently scheduled for the Sunday, the 10th of November, we're away at Juventus on the Tuesday. So I can see that one being moved. I know it hasn't been set yet for TV that weekend, but I can see that one being moved to either the Friday night or the Saturday. But at least in that case, it's long enough. Although those of us with the home advantage pack have got our tickets, other people, they know it's still subject to change, and at least there should be plenty of time for people to make plans. But going down to literally less than 2 weeks is just absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Maybe this new company that have taken over the WSL, maybe it's something they need to look at. It's not, whatever they do isn't going to happen overnight. So this is probably something for next season for them to iron out all the problems. But it's definitely something that they need to get sorted.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because we've got Bayern Munich. Is it next Wednesday? Isn't it?
Yep.
So like you look at the minute. So we've got Everton on the Sunday. So you've got what, Monday, just 2 or 3. It's a 2-day break, and then obviously we play. Like, they've arranged that as best as they can, I think, unless they moved the Arsenal game to the Friday, which they're not going to do now. But because obviously we can't play on Saturday because Arsenal men are at home against Southampton. So are you telling me that if they can do it for Arsenal, why couldn't they have said? Why couldn't they have played on like either the Saturday or the Friday, unless someone's playing on the Saturday for the Chelsea Man United game? I'm sure they're not doing it on the Friday night, so I just don't understand why. And especially like I wonder how much money that's going to mess up with it being sold out, Andrew, as well. Like because it was sold out. I think I don't know what the total attendance is at Kings Meadow apart from 12, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just an unholy mess, isn't it? It's and as alluded to before, it's the fans. I always when I see that, I put myself in that position, and you pencil it in, you write it in your calendar, and you kind of plan so much around it, and then it gets moved. I'm not sure about there's any competitive advantage. I'm of the swings and roundabouts kind of theory group, but yeah, it's a little bit embarrassing as well. As Jack was saying about 10 days after the draw. I mean, the men get 20 days after the draw to arrange games. And in this kind of thing, it feels like it's a little bit amateurish organization. And you're saying, Paul, we're trying to grow the game and look professional, and we want the women's game to be, to be kind of, shown as a competent sports organization. That's all we're asking for, really. Just in the comments, George, you're getting some hate actually from Mary Coupland. There's a threat here to you. If you bring the snow back, George, she's leaving you at the station.
That's all right. Okay, fine.
Oh, there we go. That's dealt with.
Yeah, that is Tasha's mum. So yeah.
I thought there might be something like that.
Yeah. They're both the same. You know what they're like. Anyway, get moving on. We will move on to who are we playing on Sunday? Everton. Yeah, Everton game. So, Emma, I'll start with you. What's your thoughts about it? Are you looking for a more convincing performance than yesterday?
Definitely a more convincing performance, and I want a stronger defense. Hopefully, Leah Williamson will be back from injury. But we really need to be careful of their forwards and the twins especially, because those twins in the toughies really dislike Arsenal.
Yeah. I'm hoping Williamson, we've actually got dread concussion again, was it? It was quite ironic. There was someone on Twitter that said, you should laugh at her, I was. So the last time she went to Leicester, Leah had concussion, and the next time she went, Leah still had concussion. So it's just like, so we've got to be a bit careful with Williams because she's had previous, hasn't she? So I'd like to see if it's Jonas doing dark arts, just saying, "Oh, Leah's got concussion," but no, she's just being rested for the Chelsea game. but I don't think that's the case. Jack, what are you thinking about the Everton game? And is similar to what I just said, or do you completely disagree with me?
I think because we got Bayern Munich on the Wednesday, I would probably pick a similar team. I think I'd go bit part again. I do think we've shown progress on last year. I think if we played that Leicester game last season, I think we'd drop points. Yeah. So I do think we've shown some progress. I do think that actually there were some bright spots against Leicester. I'd play Caldenti because I just think every minute you can get her on the pitch. I'd probably have midfield Leah Botley and Kim Little, but I'd still be quite heavy on the rotation. I would probably leave Codina and Wubben-Moy in the defence and then look at bringing Leah Williamson back for the Bayern Munich one, where I think her ball progression might be more important. I also think you can never be too careful when it comes to concussions, and perhaps that extra few days could be the difference between, well, who knows what between, we still don't really know that much about concussions and football, but I think it'll be a bit part game. If you offered me 1-0 against Everton now, I would take it. I think it's especially at the start of the season. I think it's a case of results over performances. I think if you look at, say, Man City, they never look fantastic at the start of the season. And actually, in the WSL, Chelsea, over recent years, have started slow. They've started bitty. They've got 1-2-0 wins, and then they ease into it. It's a long season where we expect to fight on 4 fronts. So I think rotation early on, so we avoid any injury crisis. I think giving lots of players minutes and trusting that we have, because I think we got one of the most high quality squads in the WSL. So it's trusting that squad and whatever players he puts out can get the job done. Because there's no reason why the team picked last Sunday, wouldn't then get a result at Everton as well.
Yeah. So I'm going to try something different. So I'm going to give you a lineup, and obviously I'll go to you, Paul, and tell me if you disagree with it. Well, obviously everyone will get their say on it. So would you be happy if we had a lineup of Van Donselaar, Fox, Cadena, Lotta, Katie McCabe, because Caitlin Ford can't play at left back, Katrina Cole, Kimmy Little, Rosa Caffergy, Caitlin Ford, Stina, and Cadenti.
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
I think that would be a solid one at the back. I think that would be using the midfield and up front players on a good rotation. On there, I think Catherine Cole is a very underrated player. I think she's absolutely fantastic. I've said it before. She just needs to build up on her strength on the ball, but her footwork is fantastic. And I am actually very disappointed she hasn't had any minutes already this season. I've really felt against Hacken being 3-0 up when he made the subs that he did. I think she deserved a run out there. And I was a little bit surprised she didn't get a run out against Leicester. So, I'm hoping if she doesn't start, I'm hoping she gets a good sort of half hour in the second half. But yeah, I wouldn't be upset with that lineup if that was what was announced.
Yeah. What about you, Andrew?
100% with Paul, actually, and I'd love to see Kiko get in there. I think, maybe this is the game as well. It's no disrespect to Everton, it's a home game, and as Jack says, we've got to rotate. That is the way it is. That's why we've got the big squad. We're in the Champions League. We need to be rotating, and we need to give these players, I think having, if you've got Leah and am I right? Leah Valti and Kim Little were there. There's all the world of experience around her to guide her there. I think that's a great shout. I'd love to see her. There's only one way to find out about her, isn't there? Really, and appreciate. Jonas has seen her in training, and maybe we don't know. Maybe she's just not performing in training or whatever. But if ever it was a game, I think this is the one. So I'd love to see her in the rotation, and starting. That'd be. I'd love to see that. I would. And I think she'd certainly get the crowd on. The North Bank could definitely be with her in that as well. Of course, and Darren Wells has just added on. Of course, she knows Everton quite well, having played for them. So good point, Darren. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see her in the lineup.
Yeah, I did actually go and see her play at Everton last season when we were up there for the our game against Liverpool. I went to the earlier kickoff.
Oh, cool.
At Waltham Hall Park. So she played brilliantly, and I've even got her on the back of my away shirt for this season.
Kathy, cool.
I was going to say, what's the song actually? I've forgotten it. It's been such a while.
Yeah. Emma, I'll come to you. What do you think about that lineup?
I'd definitely take that lineup, but I can't see it happening. I don't know. She's kind of fallen out of favor with Jonas, and I don't exactly know why, considering her massive achievements with Everton last season.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
only time will tell what will happen.
Yeah, exactly. And Jack, obviously, because there's no. That team should be able to do the job, shouldn't it, against Everton? Like, you should be able to rest Beth, Russo, Frida, and even Williamson if she's back for the Bayern Munich game. Surely that's what you do, don't you?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, I'd agree with that team. I think Catherine Cole's got the ability to do it. The only thing I probably would like to see is I would like to see whatever striker we pick for that game to also be picked for the Bayern Munich one. I think we need to commit to a striker now. I don't mind if it's Stina. I don't mind if it's Russo, but I think we've got to almost play them into form. I don't think chopping and changing them is working or helping either of them. And I think, we just got to choose one for the next 3-4 games and say, right, you are our striker. Go out and show it.
Yeah. Who would you choose, Stina or Russo?
Ooh, I don't know. I'd probably go Russo. I think her assist on Sunday was very, very good. And I think although she's not scoring the goals, I do think she has that creative element. She could also get in behind, but it's toss of a coin. I think Stina offers some incredible other stuff as well. But I do think both of them look short of confidence and short of concentrated game time. And I just think it's so important that we give them a run of minutes now and almost a confidence.
Yeah. Cool. We'll go around and get your predictions. So obviously, business as usual. Goal. What you think the score will be in your first goal scorer? So I'll start with you first, Emma.
First goal scorer. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say it's gonna be Caldente. Just because of her performance, her performances, she's getting ever closer. Final score. I'm hoping for a big one, but I'd take 2-1.
Cool. I'm sure that'll make you twist and shout. Caldente scoring. So.
No, I've got to learn the songs.
Yeah,
Find it difficult.
I'll put them in the WhatsApp group if you need the words. I don't know all of them. I know most of them. Who shall I go with now? Andrew. Let's see if your hand gets saves this Sunday. Score. What are we going for?
I think the toughest thing is every time I play. Well, you were always worried about whoever you select as a goal scorer. They don't even start. So I've had Mariona last week, and it's like, oh, damn it. 2-0. Codina. Yeah, I'm going with Cody.
Yeah, I will start to be a bit more nicer. So if you pick a first goal scorer that doesn't start, you are allowed to pick someone else. So I will be nice because it's hard.
Are you going to put that in the group chat on the game though?
Yeah, they should be watching the show, shouldn't they?
That's a lot of work for Mel there. You just created, I think. She's got to go through that and get your alternate. What if my second don't start as well?
I didn't say it's exclusive to the group.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, Cody 2-0.
Yeah. Paul.
Okay, I'm going to go for a bit of a risky 3-0. I'm going really out on a limb. I think Catherine Cole to score the first goal.
Excellent. I like that.
If that happens, that's got to be double points.
Yeah, I would agree to that.
Yeah. I might even actually put a bet on that one.
Yeah, why not? Kathy Cole in front of the North Bank. Right here. Jack, have you done yours? Don't think you have.
I have. I reckon I'm going to say 2-0.
Yeah.
So I do think it's going to be cagey again, and I think Jonas is going to go back to type, and he's going to put Stina up front, and he's going to play Stina 3-4 games in a row with these big European ties coming up, knowing that she's done it in these games before. So I'm going to go, Stina as my first goal scorer as well.
I thought you were going to say Jonas.
No.
Jonas sure. Right, who am I going to? I'm going to go, because I think they need to make a statement. 4-0. Russo. And Dorian's going to laugh because he thinks I've jinxed Russo since the Russo again LA song. But every week she's got to score one of these times. So, if you're watching the show, please drop your predictions in the comments. Do we have any comments, Andrew?
Yeah, Darren Wells says 1-0. Emily Fox from America. You better be on your best behaviour now, George. Tasha Coupland has just entered the chat. So
I don't listen to her, so it's fine. She knows the rules.
Well, I'll leave that one to you.
So obviously, thank you to everyone for watching. We're going to wrap it up there. Thank you for all the comments. I'm going to say thank you to my guests. Emma, thank you as always.
All right, see you on the 6th.
Yeah, see you. When is the 6th? I don't know.
Sunday.
Oh, is that
The Everton game.
Yeah, I'll be there. See you then. Paul, thank you as always. And see you Sunday as well, I think.
Yeah, I'll see you in the Coronet on Sunday.
Yeah. Andrew, thanks for all your help. You've been brilliant tonight.
You're welcome. Yeah, see you on Sunday. Hopefully my hand will be out of its cast for you to stamp all over it again on Sunday. Well, if that's the way it goes, I'll gladly have every bone broken if it means we win.
If we win the league, you'll be in A&E for the trophy. Jack, thank you, mate. Hope to see you soon.
Yeah, hopefully see you guys soon, and thank you very much again.
Yeah, no worries. And once again, thank you, everyone. And all we've got left to say is good night, and come on, you Gunners.